guys, today I'm going to be talking about how I write my essays. I'm just going to give you guys a few tips. Maybe they will help you, maybe they won't, but hopefully they do. This is for anyone who's trying to perfect their essays, trying to get top band essays in either A-levels, GCSEs, or even university. So yeah, hopefully I will be able to help you. Let's get on with the video. So the first thing I want to say is make sure you're trying to understand the question first before you go into trying to write your paragraphs, trying to write your whole essay, because some people make the mistake of rushing into writing the essay, and then when they reread their essay they realize they didn't answer the question. So make sure you're kind of highlighting the question and dissecting it so you can fully understand what it wants you to do. Certain words that people get mixed up, describe and explain, make sure you understand and distinguish between those words. The next thing I like doing is creating a mind map. So I usually put the question in the middle and I like to write around it things to do with that topic, and I like reading, doing some extra reading and seeing things to do with that topic, and I write them down, anything that comes to mind. So when I first look at that question, what do I think? And I just write it down. So I have all my ideas on a piece of paper. I don't do this electronically because I feel like it's less intimate. Like, it sounds weird, but I like just being able to scribble down, being free, and just write down everything. The next thing I do is I get an A4 sheet of paper for each section of my essay. On that sheet of paper, I would write down my main point. So what do I want to cover in that paragraph? What do I want to put across to the reader in that paragraph? And from that, I'll start delving into more further reading, trying to get more sources, trying to get more information. If you want to be using books, journals, that type of stuff. And then what I do is start to kind of roughly put together a paragraph, trying to get it flowing, what I want to talk about and explain it a bit more. I start to try and formulate my paragraphs on these separate pieces of A4 sheet, and these are kind of rough, okay? These don't have to be perfect, but you want to make sure you have your ideas, coherently put together. You don't need to put all the information you find into your paragraph. What you don't want to end up happening is you creating paragraphs that just have lots of information in them but don't really carry much weight, don't really carry much substance. It's just you writing. If it isn't answering the question, it doesn't need to be there. By the end of it, I should have 4 sheets of paper with my paragraphs written out, all my ideas in there, how I want to structure it, my points, evidence, me just being very critical, okay? That's the main thing you want to do, is be critical when you're writing, and be precise as well. So one thing I do after is I like to go through it and think, does this answer the question? If it doesn't answer the question, then I cross it out. Should I add something here? If I've seen something, and each time I'm looking on the internet, I'm seeing, okay, what else can I find about this? What else can I find to kind of, jazz it up a bit to justify what I'm saying? Another thing I would like to say is that make sure you're reading widely, but you're selecting what you want specifically, okay? So a lot of people, they make the mistake of reading, doing their further reading, finding sources, finding their the websites they want to get information from, finding the journals, finding the books, but they're selecting information that is not necessary. They're selecting information that is not specific. They're selecting information that doesn't have anything to do with the question. So you want to make sure that the information you find answers the question or has something to do with the question. So once I have done that, what I like to do is lay them all out and kind of reorder them. I like to order them in a way that is quite coherent. Then once I have ordered them, I make sure they're linking to each other, okay? So I will probably have to edit the last line every paragraph to make sure it's leading into the next one. Lots of teachers lots of lecturers they like when your essay flows. And the way you get your essay to flow is to make sure there's links between each paragraph. There's no point writing a paragraph and then just going, okay. Because they're going to read, okay, but tell me, how does this all work together? How does this relate to each other? They want to see that you're able to kind of see the bigger picture, see how everything becomes one. For you to get in the top band, you need to be able to have an essay that is coherent, that flows well, okay? Not just, this is paragraph 1, this is paragraph 2, paragraph 3. You want it to flow. So when they're reading, they're just like, okay, I see how this all comes together. Within each paragraph, you're linking back to the question. So a lot of people, when they end up writing, they forget about the question. They forget the main purpose of that paragraph. Is that paragraph answering the question? And if I can't see it in that paragraph, what I'm going to do is re-edit it. I'm going to go in and be like, okay, where can I add in something that links me back to the question? And this is where my laptop comes in. What I like to do is, whilst I'm surfing the internet, or I find good sources, find good references, I like to create a Word document and put in the piece of information I want to use, and underneath it I put the web link. Or if you're using a book, like physically, you can put the name of the book or something, just to make sure you have something there, especially for when you're making references in university. This is a nice, easy way for you to do it. Put the information in a Word document, and underneath it you put where you got it from. So when you come to doing your references, anyone at university knows this is so long, but when you come to do your references, you won't have to be searching around for it and be like, oh, I can't remember where I got this from. A lot of people forget to do this. Please read through your essay multiple times. I would say until you get sick of it. Ask people to read your essay. Read it out to people. This is what I normally do, and I do it a lot. I go downstairs and I say, hi everyone, I'm going to read out my essay. Now for a lot of people that might be weird, but I feel like when you read it out loud to people, people can give you points, good and bad points. Does this flow good? Do you understand what I'm saying? Do you get the points I'm trying to make? And sometimes when we're reading our essays, we're kind of biased. We don't really immediately pick up where we went wrong. And for you to better your essays, you need to be able to look at the things you did wrong and say, I need to tweak that, I need to change that. Another thing I do is, on Word, you can get an electronic voice to read your essay for you. So I love doing that. When I feel like I'm close to finishing my essay, I listen to my essay, and when they're reading it to me, I'm just like, that doesn't sound good. That sounds a bit weird, So I think that's a nice opportunity for you to see if everything flows. As you will lose marks if you're just waffling. That's a mistake a lot of us made when we were writing, when we first started writing. In fact, we would just waffle to the point where when you read it out loud, when you get back your marks, you're just like, I was just waffling. So guys, just make sure you're being very precise. The amount of characters that I get back when I re-edit is funny. So now I want to talk about the introduction. Your introduction needs to give a brief overview of the particular subject, the particular topic you're going to talk about. Okay, with every question, I feel like there's a clear topic, a clear subject in that question. So you want to give a clear overview of that. At the same time, you want to kind of introduce what you want to talk about. So immediately the reader will know, okay, this is what I should be looking for. And then you don't want it to be too long. I feel like when the introductions are too long, they get bored. Okay, with the conclusion, I feel like a lot of people make this mistake. They try and introduce other points to kind of try and jazz up their essay. But what you want to do is summarize your points, summarize your paragraphs. What can you pull from those paragraphs overall? What is the message you're getting from those paragraphs? That's it. You don't want to be going into a new point, adding in data, new findings. You just want to say, okay, from these paragraphs, what have they shown me? What can they show you? What can they show us? Obviously, guys, once I finish writing on my pieces of paper, I usually just type them up and then do any more edits I need to do on the computer. But yeah, I hope these points have helped you guys, and hopefully you improve your essays. Let me know if any of these points have helped you, or if you have any questions. Thank you for watching my video. Bye guys.